Good evening, Mike Lemro, Hampton Road, Pasco. Before this project, I had never attended an EFSB meeting for a gas-powered power plant, but I imagine they are all somewhat predictable. Regardless of the town that the project is proposed for, I suspect that there are always a few things that are constant. For example, regardless of location, you should expect to see a crowd from the union fighting for jobs. I can't imagine a scenario where the union would not want to fight for new work. Regardless of location, you should expect to see many of the residents express their concern over the negative impact the power plant will have on their life. After all, everyone knows that a power plant will negatively impact those who live in the area due to noise pollution, air pollution, etc. Regardless of location, you can expect to see the energy company will state that their power plant will be the cleanest and most energy efficient. While this may be true when comparing against older power plants, there is no such thing as a clean gas power plant. You can tell this from the list of special permits required to complete such a project. The issue here is that all of these things are known before the meetings even start. I found myself spending time to understand what is unique about this project. What are the key elements that the board needs to find to allow them to make an educated assessment of the project request before them? Here are a few things that I found that make this project unique from any other. The use of MTBE-contaminated wells. The project design is looking to bring the contaminated wells back online for cooling purposes. The use of MTBE-contaminated water for this type of project is unique by itself. However, after reading the court order placed on the wells, it seems that these wells cannot simply be brought back online. An excerpt from the court order dated January 28, 2002 states, wells number 3 and 3A should continue to cease operation and may forthwith only be used for remediation of contamination as directed by the Director of Health, the Department of Environmental Management, Water Resources, or other state officials, but in no event shall the wells be used for water supply. Make no mistake about it, Invenergy is not coming to Burrillville to remediate our water. They need our water as a water supply for their power plant. After the wells were brought offline, the Department of Health stated in an article by Rhode Island that they would never approve for these wells to be brought back online as the risk of further contamination from the site was too great. This seems to make a lot of sense. After research and successful MTBE cleanup efforts such as Santa Monica, California, it seems you must spend a great amount of effort cleaning the actual source location, not simply filtering the water. Next, the proposed site is not appropriate, and here's why. George Washington State Park, Pulaski Park, Buck Hill Management, and the Feinstein Youth Camp and the Boy Scout Camp are less than 1 mile away. Zamorano Hospital is less than 2 miles away. The environmental impact assessment for Motion State Power already concluded this location was not suitable for this type of facility. Land purchased by DEM in 2012, because it was one of the most critical areas in the state to protect, is 1 to 2 miles away. The Rhode Island Use Plan of 2025 promotes the build-out of open space systems and corridors. Specifically, it identifies our western borderlands and recognizes the significance of this system within the Northeast Corridor. The next unique thing, we put our operations of Zamorano Hospital at risk. Here's an excerpt from the Rhode Island Statewide Supplemental Water Supply Feasibility Assessment. Eleanor Slater Hospital, Zamorano, relies on Wallam Lake and the Wallam Lake Water Treatment Plant for all of their water supply. Therefore, Wallam Lake is Zamorano's most critical water source. Zamorano currently does not own or operate any groundwater supply wells. A loss of either Wallam Lake or the water treatment facility would result in a total loss of the supply for the system. The lake is currently used for recreational use, and there is no industry in the area surrounding the lake. A catastrophic failure to the water treatment plant would result in a loss of service for approximately 1 to 2 years. The remote geographic location of the hospital's campus prevents them from establishing any emergency interconnections with any other water supplies. The next unique thing, this project goes against the Rhode Island Use Plan for 2025. The findings in the Rhode Island Use Plan for 2025 explain that forests play a significant role in reducing greenhouse gases and carbon emissions. You can't simply look at what potentially would be added to the air. You need to also consider how much cleaning power you're removing. Here's a brief excerpt from the Rhode Island Use Plan of 2025. Rhode Island sustains a wide range of plant and animal life for its small size. As urbanization continues, the state's ecosystems will see a decline in the spatial extent of connectivity of natural habitat. Moreover, as cleared areas, roads, buildings, and other human-made environments surround forest patches, they will become more isolated and fragmented. This hurts not only plants and animals, but people as well. Forests are believed to have a significant role in reducing greenhouse gases.
Could you wrap up your time, son?
Okay. And enhancing air quality. In the forest, carbon is stored as biomass and vegetation. One potential mechanism to offset carbon emissions is by increasing carbon sequestration in forests. And conclude, these are just a few items to make this proposal unique from any other power plant proposal. There are many other concerns to this proposal, such as how this will impact the Rhode Island EC4 board's ability to ensure we will achieve the Rhode Island Resilient Act. The list is much longer than I could possibly get through in 5 minutes. However, it's clear that this proposal is flawed. Based on research that I've been able to complete over the past several months, it seems that the guidelines of the locals, Town Comprehension Plan, the state, the Rhode Island Use Plan of 2025, and the federal, the Environmental Impact Assessment, all agree that this project is not appropriate.